Welcome. Coming to you live, Haps, if you want to see myself. Hey guys, it's been a minute. Alright, Unblock Cuba, absolutely. In the embargo, no blockade. Trying to turn it around here. Whoops, here we go. Alright, we're gonna unblock Cuba in Tempe in solidarity with Carlos Lasso. He's arriving in a couple hours in Washington, D.C. from a walking pilgrimage from Miami. 1,300 miles, guys. Okay, gonna do a banner drop. Gonna do a banner drop. Banner jumping! Oh, look at this nice view. I'm gonna get ahead of us a little bit. Look at this. Okay. Alright, here we are. Gonna get ahead of the situation. Just go slower, don't follow me. Alright. Here they come to unblock Cuba. Here they come. We're asking to lift the embargo. Okay. Alright. What does everyone think? I haven't done Haps in a while. Sorry if somebody's commenting, and I hope we have good audio. Unblock Cuba. Right here. Okay. Here we go. Woohoo! I might just set us down for a minute. I think right here at the peak of this is a good place to drop the banner. What do you think? It's up to the banner droppers. Banner droppers. Guys. Alright. Oh, what? Okay, we got some folks. Alright, this is good. Let's do our pilgrimage, guys, in solidarity. Alright. That was the middle of the bridge. Instead of going to the all the way across, I guess we're gonna go back to the middle of the middle. Quarter-way bridge. Alright. This is happening. An end of the Sunday, or rather end of the month Sunday, for a year now in solidarity with Carlos Lasso's campaign. Worldwide, there'd been 70 cities doing caravans. Today, on this very day, for this very occasion, for Washington, D.C. Event for Carlos to deliver the demands to unblock Cuba to the Biden administration. There's also other cities involved. We're Phoenix. Woo! I wanted to catch what this banner says, guys. There's also today Seattle, Milwaukee. Oh gosh, can I remember? I believe San Francisco, LA. This is the banner drop here, y'all, and I'm trying to catch it. Can everyone that they changed the location of the van around me, which is fine. That's what logistics, we had to hang it from there. I don't want to miss this. Don't want to miss this banner drop. Banner drop. Yes! Oh, it looks great. It looks great, guys. You can see. Oops, sorry. Alright. I see it. I don't know if you can. Let me turn you around. Lab viewers. Don't fall in the lake. Oops. My little thing was up. Alright. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. Woo! Look where we are. Alright. Can I zoom? I don't know how to zoom, but this is amazing. What a beautiful view. Unblock Cuba in the blockade. And it says, let Cuba live in the U.S. embargo on Cuba. We got the flag. Anyone know how to zoom in on here? This is amazing. 7 minutes live. Catch it. So good. So good. Oh, okay. Zooming in. All right, here we go. I figured it out. Oh yeah. Let Cuba live in the U.S. embargo. Coming up on 8 minutes live. Ooh, we got some more in solidarity group. Woo! I see some more coming. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm so, let me set us down so I'm not so, not down in the water. Yes. Yes, yes. Let's see here. Yes, yes, yeah. Look at this. Wow. Yep, more comrades joining. Here they are to the side. Woo! In the blockade! This looks so good. Alright. Oh man, that's amazing. I want to take some photos. How do I prop us up properly? How about I switch us around? And I don't know if it's, yeah, we can still zoom on this one. No. There we are. Whoop. We just barely haven't got it here. Woo. Let me see here. Take some photos. Just not the best at holding you still. Alright, I'm gonna lean us. Woo! Here we are. I'm gonna lean us against just a couple photos before, as you can see, it might storm. Looks like it's getting stormy over here. Oh my god, one big wind is just gonna send this sailing. Oh man. Alright, in the blockade! Alright, 2 more! Woo! Hands off Cuba! And now one for the Instagram. Alright. If they're being patient enough, guys. this. Woo! In the blockade. In the blockade. Alright, we posted. Alright, guys, we posted. We did it. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! I'm alive. I'm glad that didn't fall the other way. That's happening. That's it. Let's come back and ask some questions. Don't want to miss one moment of it. Can I get it still? Woo! All right. There they go. Woo! Do. Better jump. I guess they dropped from the first stop. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running.
Because it was so well controlled compared to even wealthy countries. And let me just add that they sent about 50 brigades to almost 40 different countries. The Henry Reed brigades to help with the pandemic. They sent to Italy, to eventually to Mexico, to many other places. They help with highly trained medical personnel. And in addition, so now, because of the pandemic, right, the need for syringes, Cuba was unable to purchase enough. Their vaccines don't need refrigeration, so they're ideal for countries with low infrastructure. But there's 3 doses, so they're to be 92.5% effective. So that means that each person is going to need 3 syringes for the full thing. So Cuba has a population of 11 million people. A little bit more than 11
Oh yeah, we can't block. Sorry.
So they're going to need about 30 million syringes to immunize their whole population. In addition, they also have one vaccine that is nasal spray, which is a completely new thing. U.S. scientists helped organize UN on June 23rd, for the 29th time, the entire world voted against the blockade against Cuba. And it really is a blockade, not an embargo. Only two countries voted this time to maintain it. One of them, obviously, the U.S. And there were 3 abstentions. But it's important to note that if you compare Cuba to Haiti, Haiti has the same population as Cuba. The U.S. has been from 60 years ago trying everything they can to hurt the Cuban economy. The GDP of Cuba right now is 10 times the GDP of Haiti. 10 times. Now, there's the Trump administration instituted 243 other sanctions, which all of these sanctions are extra legal and against international law. It needs to be said that the U.S. sanctions all over the world because of their reach of its financial institutions and so forth. But it's against international law. It's considered against the Geneva Conventions. It's warfare against the people of Cuba. And so it's not only illegal, but it's also immoral, in my opinion. So there's been response around the world. Many, many cities around the United States have caravans at the last Sunday of every month, which is very, very heartwarming that there are so many. In Miami, I've been in close contact with the people organizing the caravans in Miami, and there's been a whole evolution. Miami, as you know, used to be, very pro-Republican, very right-wing, and so forth. The Cuban community was against the Cuban Revolution. But after all these years, since 1995, there's been a change. And the Cuban community in the United States is splitting. While many still do not support the Cuban Revolution, they are against the blockade because they see the pain that it's inflicted on the Cuban people. So in Miami especially, the focus of all the caravans, which is where it started, has been just to focus on the illegality and immorality and criminality of the U.S. blockade against Cuba, leaving other political issues aside to make the broadest appeal to the most number of not only Cuban Americans, but Americans in general, that they should oppose the blockade. Now, one argument that's used is that, and I've heard it many, many, many times, well, if the U.S. has the right not to trade with Cuba, absolutely the U.S. has the right not to trade with Cuba. But everybody says, well, Cuba can just trade with the rest of the world. And Cuba does. But it's important to realize that it's become increasingly difficult for Cuba to carry out financial transactions. Many times there's a sale, everything's completed, and now it's just a question of the money being transferred, and the U.S. calls a Swiss bank, or they call a French bank, or they call a Spanish bank, and they threaten them with sanctions. And so the deal falls apart. And there's no country in the world that has endured what Cuba has endured. But if we go back to Haiti, the president of Haiti was just assassinated. In between 1911 and 1915, 7 presidents in Haiti were either overthrown or violently or assassinated. In 1914, the U.S. sent Marines to remove the contents of the National Bank of Haiti for safekeeping in New York. Well, I don't have to tell you that Haiti has been under the thumb of the United States since that time. After 1915, Woodrow Wilson sent troops to Haiti. They organized the Gendarmerie, which ended up being the Tonton Macoutes under Duvalier, which everybody knows was a horrible thing for the Haitian people. And a lot of the funds that for the recent earthquake that were given by the international community to help rebuild Haiti after the horrible earthquake are now in Swiss bank accounts, and individuals have just siphoned off a lot of that money. Make no mistake, the United States wants Cuba to be like Haiti. They can't stand that Cuba stands up, does not accept U.S. interference in their affairs. They do not accept the violations of their sovereignty. And Cuba punches way above its size in the world. We have to remember what the Cubans did at Quito Cuanavale. When they dealt a decisive blow, Cuba sent hundreds of thousands of volunteers to Angola to help protect help it defend its independence against the South African army, which back then was under apartheid, right? It was a racist invading army. At Quito Cuanavale, one of the last battles in the war, they dealt such a decisive blow to the South African army that the government crumbled, and it resulted in the release of Nelson Mandela. The first place Nelson Mandela went after being released from prison was Cuba, to thank Cuba for its absolute unwavering solidarity with the anti-apartheid movement for all those years. And Nelson Mandela gave a speech at that time. Fidel Castro gave a speech at that time. One in English, one in Spanish. I actually translate them both to the other language, and books were put out. And the title of the book was How Far We Slaves Have Come, because the history of slavery and so on is also part of the experience in Haiti and part of the experience in Cuba. Remember, Haiti had one of the first bourgeois revolutions, but it was by emancipated slaves. It was the first time in the world that happened. And the French and the German and the U.S. have since then prevented Haiti from becoming the nation that it could have been. And Cuba then had its revolution. The United States immediately cut off the sugar quota that the economy of Cuba depended on. And from then, it's just been unrelenting attacks against the Cuban Revolution. So we as American citizens have a very important responsibility as American citizens who believe in the First Amendment, who believe in democratic rights, even as limited as they are here, to defend, well, to oppose the U.S. blockade against Cuba. It is an unconscionable reach of U.S. law. And, well, it's legal for the U.S. in the legal framework, but it's illegal internationally. No other country accepts those kinds of extra-legal overreach by a powerful country. So I've spoken enough, but if anybody wants to add...
A live viewer just said eBay took down my posting because I was selling a Cuban coin. When we're raising funds for the syringes, they warn us if you put the word Cuba in an email on a post, it tends to get taken down just saying Cuba.
Right, so put Cuba with a K or something.
Woo, there we go.
And it will, the algorithm will be...
Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Dwayne. All right. Okay, guys, the storm is encroaching. I do recommend everybody gather at Press Coffee directly south on the street, unless you can do your thing. Beautiful.
I hope it lasts
Thank
for a long
you.
time, and because it's up against the Mars, I think it'll stay for a while unless somebody takes it down.
Let me
Thank
get your
everybody
sign.
for coming.
Sign.
Oh, one last thing. We may do this
Cuba
again. It's very likely that we'll do it again. Talk about it, invite other people, and send us an email to...
I want to thank Stan. He's usually in my broadcast.
Oh, hi. I saw you popped up on my notes.
Stan the man. Ooh, I got your beautiful bike. Caravan Stan. Oh, I just coined it. Caravan Stan. All right, guys. I think the weather is gonna dictate what we do now.
Stay in touch. Sure. Well, stay in touch.
See you on the next broadcast.